Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Love Island Cast Australia. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend, and I'm very happy to have him back, is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, you old James Blunt, you. Yeah, I thought I was out. I thought I had a while. I thought I had a year initially to get back into this, but you dragged me back in.
I just subtly started throwing little crumbs out, and I knew as soon as you started watching it, Dave, you would be back.
You're going to see things come up in my Twitter feed, you know, like Love Island Cast. Oh, we're doing the Australia one. What? Are we?
Well, anybody who knows me, Dave, knows that I am a very, very impulsive person. I've said it before that if we get an idea within about an hour, we've got podcasts set up, we've got logos, we've got intros done. I am absolutely obsessive, and you know full well once you like that touch paper with me, I go all in like you do. So it was...
you got the logos, you got the music. Just need to sort out a co-host. But what I have to say, I listened to yesterday's, and what a great job Sam did. And I could tell, you know, you were relying on Sam to have the whole itinerary of who people were and everything.
It was like you on a different level. Yeah, well, you could tell she's a PA or an EA, as she said, Dave, because it's usually you who's the organised one, and I'm the absolute bull in a china shop, aren't I? So, no, she did a good job yesterday, which she's continually told me about, Dave, as well, which, to be fair, was very funny. I wasn't happy about her saying Ewan had had a couple of inches on me. I'm still worried about what inches meant.
Only a couple.
hey, the only thing I've got on him, I think, on inches is probably my nose, Dave. That's about it.
The old sundial.
Dave, I can get a new co-host, you know, if you can.
Yeah. I do have to say it's great to be back, though. I mean, I'm from starting off this journey and being that cynic, I'm on my like third season now, so it kind of I feel like a bit of a veteran now. When did I go from newbie to veteran? It's like we went to the UK first, didn't we? The US, now in Australia. But I mean, it's the same villa though, isn't it, as the US one?
Yeah. Hopefully the weather's better, Dave, because it was bad for the US one.
It didn't look good.
No.
So yeah. But no, I mean, I caught up with the first episode. Again, all very similar format. All absolutely beautiful people, but all fucking prize cocks as well. You know, it's probably a bit harsh. Not every single one, just most of them. So where do you want to start today, Chris?
Dave, I'm starting with that fucking Lord Voldemort 1980s slick back haircut. Fucking Owen. What the fuck do all these women see in this clown, Dave? I'm sorry. For me, he's a bell end. Now what? And I'm sorry, when he looks from the front... I think you
should get off the fence a bit there and say what you really think.
Well, when he looks into the camera, and look, as I've said, I have got no room to talk when it comes to noses. He's got that no nose look at all. And I genuinely... you know, obviously, I'm a heterosexual male, but you can always see someone who's good looking. You know what I mean? A good looking bloke, and that. You know what I'm saying? He's a good looking guy, David Beckham, people like that. I don't get it how the girls have just fell for his bullshit. Because to me, he's an absolute see you next Tuesday. As soon as he started disrespecting the lad, saying you've got a real man in here, and I'm like, no, we haven't, mate. You're just a cock. I'm sorry, he's just blagged everyone.
Well, I mean, he has. I guess there's a couple of things, hasn't he? So he's not. I don't think he's conventionally handsome either. I don't see it. I do think he's got a bit of a weird face. But every single girl got a bit wet when he walked in, though, didn't they? So yeah. You know, he had. I think it's purely about his body, isn't it? You know, he's a proper like Jason Momoa type. You know, he's just huge. He's got
Jason Donovan.
The long hair. He's got the beard. So just that big bulky rugby player type, I think. And of course, you know, the bit of a Irish accent as well thrown in there. It seems to flip flop between Irish and an Australian, but I think it's more about his body, isn't it? And he has got a great body, but I'm with you. I mean, as soon as he said, it's all boys in here and girls like a real man, I was just like, you, sir, are a cock.
Dave, it's great to have you back, my friend. Because we think along the same lines, and it's not a jealousy thing. He's got a great body. He's 6'5". He's a monster. Well, it might be for you, Dave, but
5'8", for fuck's sake.
Dave, I'm 6'2", and I've got a fucking 1-inch cock. What do you expect? I'm feeling very, very inadequate. You know what I mean? But he genuinely. Anyway, it's 1.5, by the way, everyone. Just show you anyone starts anything. But
we should make up T-shirts, shouldn't we?
What?
So there's got to be some kind of play with like a cricket bat and a thimble. Over the old cricket bat, but not just that, Dave. Chris has got a fucking 8-inch nose and a 1-inch cock. Yeah, that could be a good T-shirt. So we do love iTunes reviews, people. So if you want to get your own opinion in there on that statement, feel free to. But yeah, no, I think we're on the same page with him. I think he's just a little bit full of himself. Like I say, he's got that. I think I can't remember who it was now. Someone said, "Oh, he looks like Aquaman." Well. There you go. Then. So it's just that's what they're thinking when they look at him. They're seeing Jason Momoa, not his actual. He looks like he's done the old. Like you say, he's fucking Voldemort, isn't he? Just ran into the wrong station at King's Cross. Was it 9 3/4 or something? Yeah, but it wasn't open then.
he went to 10.5.
The wrong one.
No, but I've got to say, Dave, in the last 2 series, we are both stand by what we say. Is we call out bad behaviour, whether it's man, woman, whatever. And I've got to say, the lads or a couple of the other lads, other than Owen, are absolute knobheads. I mean. Let's start with Adam, Dave. What are your thoughts on him?
Well, I'm aware that some people might be kind of listening to this who really are plugged into the UK and watch that. So, I mean, the Australian one is coming on terrestrial TV, isn't it? So it's on ITVB from the 14th of October. So you will be able to catch up. Because I think when we're talking about these different people, you kind of have to know what they look like and stuff. Well, this guy looks like someone's taken an Action Man, kind of melted him in the fire a little bit and squashed his head and then put like a perfect fringe on him or something. He looks fucking weird. Now he'll probably walk in the pub and he'll stand out as the most beautiful bloke there. But I just think he looks a bit strange. But again, what I'm recognizing from seeing these different series now is you get these people who do go into a nightclub or a pub or whatever, and they don't have to have any personality. They can say anything. And, it doesn't really matter. They're going to pull the girls anyway. It's not like they have to, go. You've not got a short ass like me going in, eh? Like a bit of a dad bod, do you? Part-time podcaster as well. What a catch. Look out, ladies.
Coming through, yeah.
So, they just don't have to work for it at all. And, when he fucking said, I mean, he ends up, what is it, Cassie?
Cassie, yeah.
Cassie? Yeah. So she's kind of, it's down. I read up she was from like Sydney or something like that, but then she's saying she's from London as well. I'm not sure if to qualify you have to say that you're from Sydney or Melbourne or somewhere in Australia, but with the accent and everything, she's clearly not been there that long. So, and she is a beautiful woman, right? And what does he say to her? He says like, well, you're not a bad looking girl. It's not like, if it's about 10 to 2 in the morning and you're the only one going, fair income.
And now I did say about the impressions, Dave, that it's you who does him. Now, was that an audition for a Guy Ritchie film, or was that
No, I think it's my what's the guy, the Mary Poppins bloke?
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke.
Mary Poppins.
No, it's more. Have you seen In Between Us 2?
Yes.
Where you got Jay. He's working in the toilets, and he's like, "No."
It wasn't a bad Aussie accent, actually, Dave.
But forget the accent, though. You don't. You know how to make a lady feel special. I mean, come on. You're not a bad-looking girl. What a fucking terrible, terrible thing to say. But
yeah,
I mean,
bad.
What can I say? That was pure David Brent, wasn't it? And again, he's clearly got no idea. But I was a bit surprised as well, although I shouldn't be, that, you know, she took it so badly, and then she's like crying her eyes out over it. It's like, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah. She took
He's clearly a cock. Why are you bothered?
And she wasn't that interested in him, was she? They were more together out of convenience more than anything. I totally agree. But Dave, you're thinking at this point, so I'm not convinced by Owen, other people could be. We're not convinced by Adam. So these two have absolutely just made themselves look like a pair of cocks. And in comes Maurice, who says, you know what, lads, as you always say, Dave, hold my fucking beer. Because he absolutely just acted like a knob towards Jessie. So he sat there, they're talking. Jessie's pied him off. She said, you know, I think that's it. I've got to give Jessie full credit. She pied him off at the start of the episode, said, it's not working. I'm not feeling it. See you later. That's it. No problem with that. Got respect for Jessie for standing up for it, not wasting her time, not wanting to be with this guy. She did say later on it was like putting nails down a chalkboard. But this discussion that happened halfway through was a disgrace. The way he spoke to her was just, you do not speak to anybody about that. And it is the way he calls her out for not being able to communicate, doesn't like the truth. And every time she tried to articulate, he just talked over her, Dave. So, I mean, what did you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, again, another prize cock. I mean, I didn't like him from the first episode. I thought, yeah, something about you. You know, he sticks it straight on Jessie as well. In their first conversation, pretty much. Not that she put up much of a fight about it, but I thought it was pretty much in that same conversation, though. They'd kind of hinted at it. They seemed to, day one seemed to be fair enough. But then it just wasn't really sort of clicking. And she's not, I don't want to say she's dumb because that's unfair, but, she's just at a different point in life than he is, so she's just talking about different things. But it's like, say, Chris, if you have to keep telling someone how great you are at something, you're probably not actually that great at it. And it irritated the fuck out of me how he kept saying and going on to her about how, she's not a great communicator and I'm a great communicator and all this. It's like, no, fuck off. Because to be a good communicator, you need to actually fucking listen.
It's like, David, you're right. It's like he's watched some sort of Tony Robbins seminar on, like, making yourself feel good, the law of attraction, thinking positive. And he's just run with it because, he's not a bad-looking lad. You know what I mean? Obviously, Sam's about his eyes. He's got quite a good features, and he looks like a model. Obviously,
he's a beautiful bloke.
That's what I mean. He's a good-looking lad. And the sad thing is, unfortunately, at the moment, his looks are only going to get him so far because to most people, you might have everything, men and women on the outside, but if you've got a bad personality or you've got a bit of a nasty streak or whatever, it's one of the biggest turns for anybody, innit? Because why would you waste your time on such... Well, I'd say at the moment he's coming across like a narcissist, to be honest, and it's quite worrying, really. But also, Dave, let's just quickly talk about Owen. So Owen has to choose, doesn't he? He takes Jessie and he takes Cartier on a date. He tells Cartier that she is the one he's leaning towards. She's the one, so we're getting Cartier. He's bigging it all up. Jessie then, she says it herself, she cock blocks her own self, which I didn't think she was doing it nastily. I thought she was doing it as a friend because she could see how hurt Cartier is going to be. And I think, even though they've not been together long, I give her a lot of respect for that because I get it. I know she was a bit nervous and she said, I do this thing, but I thought when I was watching it that it wasn't that case. She was genuinely being a friend to her.
I think I can actually speak to this. I mean, obviously, I'm not a woman, but I do have a similar trait, and I know exactly what she's talking about there. There's this weird thing where you basically self-sabotage yourself, and you basically make yourself not a martyr, but you put everyone else before you. And at times you should just think like, what do I want? Yeah. But I recognize that exact trait. She wasn't doing it intentionally. And you could tell, like, right after, she's like, what the fuck was I doing that for? You know, I should have just come out and said, you know, I'm stop trying to be nice and just go for it, you know? So I think it was genuine. Absolutely.
It was, to be honest. I mean, it was good editing again because they set it all up, and lo and behold, Owen picked Jessie. Poor Cartier. I can't wait for the fallout because what I can never understand, Dave, and I try and picture myself in this situation. Obviously, it's been a long time since I've been on a date or been in a situation where I've never had a situation where I've got 5 women stood in front of me, Dave. And, you know, last time I saw someone like that was a Bruce Lee film, I think, Enter the Dragon, when he's like, y'all have you. It's never going to happen in my lifetime. Yeah. That's a bit of a reach that, Dave, wasn't it? But anyway.
I was wondering which bit. Sorry, I'm a little tired.
Yeah. Can you walk on my back? Yeah, that one. Anyway, I genuinely think that the way they've set it up and the way you are in life, I keep trying to sort of relate to it, thinking, would I be such a slapped ass if after like 24 hours someone picks someone else? I don't know. Like I say, I don't see the appeal of Owen. And you did say, Dave, when we were talking before we come on air, that he's just telling them all what they want to hear, or want kids, or want this. And I just think he's an imposter. I could be wrong, but most of the time when we've seen these people, we've called them out straight away, haven't we? And we've been pretty right. I'm not saying we might be. We could be completely wrong. But I just have a feeling about this lad that he's just playing the game.
He absolutely is. And he is utterly fake. Now, again, we put our opinions right out there, and some of them are right. And then some of them, you know, as things evolve, we find out, actually, that was wrong. We had them wrong there. But more often than not, I think we get it broadly right. Now, looking at the facts, and what I will say is, you know, when Cartier paired up with Gerard, I thought they looked okay together. But then you could tell when Cartier said, you know, how much she loves Jesus, and, you know, she's into the church and everything, you could almost see Gerard mentally backpedaling. You know? Yeah. He's like, yeah, I respect that, but it kind of means I'm not going to get any action in here. So, you know, it was like any kind of little flame he had. It was like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know, they were wheeling off the Ark of the Covenant up to a warehouse, never to be seen again. But it was obvious, though. You get fucking rugby playing rock star Jesus walks in, and of course she's going to fucking go for him. But getting back to Owen himself, he says to her, oh, yeah, you know, he's trying to be transparent and honest, or he's trying to play at that. But he says, you know, I'm kind of leaning towards you. But, you know, I don't know. I haven't made my decision. So he's covering all bases there. And I'm fucking screaming at the screen. I'm like, surely you can't be falling for this bullshit. And she goes, oh, it's good that you're honest. I'm like, oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. Unbelievable, isn't it?
But then he goes, I can't remember who he's talking to right after that. And he's like, yeah, I'm about 50-50. And it's like, bullshit. You just said it was at least 60-40, you know, and then he's just telling people what they want to hear.
Of course he is, Dave. It's the old classic. And then on top of that, at the end of this, once he's picked Jessie, we then get revealed that we've got 2 new girls going in, and one of them, I think her name was Phoebe, basically says that all her ex-boyfriends will say she's a psycho. So I'm really looking forward to that, Dave. I'm really hoping
she's honest. I'm sure she's not the only one in that villa, but nope. You know, I think, yeah. That'll be interesting how that goes. So, I mean, I bet you're rubbing your hands, aren't you? You can see some fireworks going off, and, you know, some arguments and getting the bouncers in and everything. So yeah, I think it should be interesting.
Yeah, it should be, to be fair. He started off a lot better, Dave, I think, than the US one did. A lot better. Everyone was a bit too nice in the US one. In the Aussie one, they're a bit more upfront more than the UK one. They don't mess about by the looks, and that's what I like, to be honest.
Well, fucking Gerard, he's fucking cooking eggs with no pants on in the first episode, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he was stirring the eggs with. I was like, I'll pass on the runny eggs, thanks.
Yeah. No, he was. He's got good TV, Dave. Good, not his arse being out, but obviously the whole show. I've said a few dodgy things these last 2 episodes, but yeah. Anyway, go on, Dave. What do you say?
No, I think, and then I can't remember who it was, but someone joined him, didn't they? I think he set a bit of a precedent there.
It was it Sam? It was Sam, wasn't it? Because it was Vanessa's birthday.
It was about the only fucking interesting thing he did. Beautiful bloke, but him and Cynthia have just got no chemistry whatsoever, have they?
No, there's nothing there at all. He's just pretty wooden, to be honest. And again, the editing shows, I think they could be the first ones out, to be honest, because we've seen nothing from him at all. Just sad, really. Well,
old Maurice, the great communicator, is the one that's single, though, isn't he? But I guess you've got 2 girls coming in, so, they're going to have to pick someone. And being the fucking great communicator that he is, he'll be straight in there like a dog with 2 dicks, I'm sure, with both of them.
Well, yeah. That's every man's wish, but there you go, not being a dog. But
well, yeah. That came out not quite how I meant it, but
no, it didn't, to be honest. But anyway, right, if you want to get in contact with the show, guys, at Love Island Cast on Twitter, get over there, get interacting with myself and Dave. Emails over the last couple of days now that we're back, guys. But please get over, as Dave mentioned earlier, to your podcast catching app and drop us a review. And if there's anything you want to talk to us about, on the email, theloveislandcast@gmail.com. Now, Dave, I've not said this for a while on this podcast, but have you got anything to take us out with today, my friend?
Well, seeing as we had a little bit of a rendition of this in The Joker, I kind of feel like it's okay to speak openly about it in pop culture now. And all I'll say is, as Gary Glitter said, it's good to be back.